Hey everyone, so we have two pieces of news to bring to you today, at least to start the day, and it deals with Nintendo's E3 presentation along with what they might have or will have for sure on the show floor. So, Nintendo has officially put out on Twitter that their digital event, their big, press conference replacement thing that they've been doing for a few years, will be called Nintendo Direct at E3 2018. Now this was technically leaked a little while ago, then deleted, and no one was really sure if this was going to be what they would call it. They've called it a digital event and a Nintendo Direct over the years. They are going with Nintendo Direct at E3 2018. Maybe that drives down some hype for you. I don't really think it should, because they've used this name before, and they've still have always had their E3 Directs or their E3 digital events or whatever they've called them in the past be bigger than basically any other Nintendo Direct they do during the year. So it still should be a big deal. It's still happening at 9 a.m. Pacific, so be sure to tune in. Hopefully we'll be live streaming it. If not, you can catch all the news from it at nintendoprime.net, because we will be putting up posts on our website about all of the news, because it will be impossible to get a zillion videos out. We'll probably do a recap of the news in a video form before we head off to the show floor. Now, speaking of the show floor, according to Cerebi and their sources, Cerebi.net, they are saying that Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee will be playable on the show floor. That really shouldn't be a surprise. These games are coming out this year. They've already been announced. They're going to show more of it. It's probably going to appear in that Nintendo Direct. Plus, they're going to show gameplay of it from the Treehouse. So, yeah, it's not really surprising it's going to be on the show floor, but it's going to be on the show floor. So, that's really cool, and that also means yours truly, Nathaniel Rumble-Jantz, is going to get to play Let's Go Eevee and Let's Go Pikachu like a week from now. I mean, think about it. It is Tuesday today. Today, 1 week from today, the show floor is open, and within hours, I could be playing Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee, getting exclusive footage, hands-on time, impressions, all the stuff that you guys, want me to do at E3. We're going to be doing it to the best of our ability. We're even ordering the special-sized tote bags that they said you could bring in with the Gamer Pass. It's like 12 by 16 by 6, I think is the size. We're actually going a little bit smaller. We're going 12 by 12 by 6. We think we can fit everything in there. Actually, the biggest thing that sucks isn't really the fact we can't have a backpack. It's more so that we can't have this. Like this camera, it's on a tripod. We can't bring the tripod. That sucks. Only media is allowed to have tripods, so hopefully we get registered as media next year. Don't have to go with the Gamer Pass, and then we can bring the tripod and all that stuff. But part of that is obviously NintendoPrime.net, and you guys going there, showing some love, showing some support. We're going to be throwing up all the news posts from there on Twitter and our Facebook page. Yes, we do have a Facebook, facebook.com/NintendoPrime. But whatever. Let's just talk about this experience for a moment, because while I fully expected Let's Go Eevee and Let's Go Pikachu to be playable, it's nice to have some confirmation of sorts. Even though this isn't directly from Nintendo, Nintendo's not going to tell you what's on the show floor until the day of, so let's be honest about that. But this does make me happy. For those who don't know, I'm very excited for Let's Go Eevee and Let's Go Pikachu. And I feel like I can even segue this conversation a little bit into something that I feel like needs to be said. And that is that if you're upset about Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee, then you're not paying attention. What has come out since it announced, there's been interviews and all the stuff that we haven't talked about yet, it's that this Let's Go Eevee, Let's Go Pikachu is clearly like its own series of games within the mainline. You can call it a side show if you want, but it is actually a mainline core series. What's happening is they're kind of branching the series. If you think about, if you want a good comparison here, look at the way that things were being handled with The Legend of Zelda over the years. You kind of had the console games, and then you had the top-down games, and they kind of did their own thing. Yeah, the timelines intermingled and all that stuff, but in terms of development, they had like their handheld development team, and they had their console development team. Now, obviously, they've melded together, and we don't know what the future is, but if you look at it in that aspect, all of those games were mainline games for Zelda, even though the top-down ones and the 3D Zelda games were completely different, right? Like, completely different kinds of games. But they still were all mainline. And I feel like that's the way you should look at Let's Go Eevee and Let's Go Pikachu. They are branching the series in down two separate paths. So next year, we're supposedly getting the new core mainline game they talked about last year. that will probably be Generation 8. They haven't necessarily said it will be Generation 8, but it's probably going to be Generation 8. If not Generation 8, maybe it ends up being Pokemon Stars that was talked about before, or whatever it ends up being. I'm very excited to see what that becomes, because that's obviously, when you just came off Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, that's kind of the next game in that line of Pokemon games. Whereas Pokemon Let's Go Eevee and Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu seems to be creating a new line of more casual, friendly Pokemon games. That seems to be the goal and what I am getting out of their interviews. So while I'm excited for Let's Go Eevee and Let's Go Pikachu, part of it is that it is a bit more accessible for me. And maybe that's going to make me fall in love with the next Pokemon game next year as well, as this is a great game to get me back into Pokemon, and then I dive even deeper next year. Maybe that's their plan the entire time. But it sounds like the Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee is going to be a series they plan to keep pushing forward. So while there won't be like a new one next year because we're going to get that 8th generation, I feel like they might start rotating this every other year with 2 separate teams. So you'll have your team working on Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee, and then whatever comes after that, whatever mainline games after that, and then you have your team working on the one coming out next year, and then that team will continue to make whatever comes after that, and you're just going to see them alternate. And I feel like this is actually best serving everyone, because believe it or not, for those that are upset about Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee, there are a ton of people I've seen out there that are like me, that are super excited about these games. And I feel like we need to... The problem that's going to happen, and I saw this in the Zelda franchise, is you're going to get elitism. Elitism, the elitist, they're going to come out of the framework and talk about how if your favorite Pokemon games come from the Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee line of games and moving forward, you're not a real Pokemon fan. And then you'll have them, chiding at people, yeah, but you're in all these complicated mechanics, you have your Pokemon games, and yeah, like, you are dumb. I don't know what they're gonna say. They might just ignore you entirely. But I just want to forewarn that if you are one of those people not excited about these games, waiting for next year, do not crap on the people that end up buying Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee, and loving them. I do not want to see... I don't want to see the Pokemon fanbase kind of devolve a bit into what has happened with the Zelda fanbase, where if your favorite games are the top-down Zelda games, there's a lot of Zelda fans of the, fans of Breath of the Wild, fans of Majora's Mask, Twilight Princess, etc., that will just crap all over you and say you're not a real Zelda fan. And sometimes it happens in the vice versa in the Zelda community as well, right? Like, if you love A Link to the Past, A Link Between Worlds, the Minish Cap, Oracle of Ages, Oracle of Seasons, all those games, they will look at the 3 people like, you're not playing real Zelda games. These are the real Zelda games because this is where Zelda started. And I don't want to see the Pokemon community devolve into that. What I want to see happen in gaming is more acceptance. And I want all of you guys out there, guys, gals, kids, adults, whoever you are, to be accepting of this new future reality for Pokemon. Because I feel like what's happening is the best case scenario for any Pokemon fan across the world. We're going to have 2 mainline branching series of games that are going to satisfy entirely different crowds. And maybe some of you will be like me and probably end up loving both branches and getting something different out of each one and being all about all that. But maybe you're going to be someone who prefers, the following up Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon path in Generation 8. Or you're someone that prefers the Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee. What is for sure is that everyone can be happy. So I really hope that the infighting doesn't start. I know that we're going to be comparing, is next year's games better than Let's Go Eevee and Let's Go Pikachu? And heck, I'll probably even have a video about it as well on which one I think is best. But I don't want to use it as a form to create this elitist attitude. And if I'm being honest, I've already felt it a little bit when I've tried to get back into Pokemon games over the past decade. Some people that are really into them kind of talking down to me like I don't matter because I'm not as serious about the hardcore competitive scene as they are. It's kind of like the hardcore competitive Smash scene when people get mad at me about that. But the thing is like I'm not part of that scene, so you can get mad at me, I just don't care. So I just don't want to see this happen with a Pokemon fan base. I know this happens with every fan base in the world, but I just want to get that plead out here before we finally get our hands on the game and get to see what it's all about. That please, please, if you're not into it, just say it's okay because you're going to get what you want. Alright, folks. Remember to tune in next week on Tuesday. That's when everything gets started with Nintendo. EA has their press conference, I think, this week on Friday. Who knows? Maybe they'll surprise us and show FIFA 19 for Switch. And not just that, maybe they'll show us some other games for Switch. I have no idea. We don't know if EA plans to do anything beyond FIFA for Switch. So that'll be fun. There's Ubisoft and Bethesda and a zillion press conferences happening before Nintendo's, so be sure to tune them in. Hopefully we'll be live streaming some of those and talking to you guys about what's happening. Otherwise, the very first game I think I'll be playing is either Madden or FIFA at EA Play on Sunday or Monday. I have to double check my. I actually have I have a confirmed meeting time, and at some point today I'm supposed to get an email to set up a time to play Smash Bros. Hopefully there's still some time slots left, because otherwise your boy here won't get to play Smash Bros. I'm traveling 4 hours away and still won't get to play Smash. Come on, get that email to me, Nintendo. Alright, folks, I'm Nathaniel Robojazz from Nintendo Prime, and if you like this video, you know what to do, and if you dislike the video, hit that dislike button, subscribe for more content, and I'll catch all of you guys in the next one.